man. Oxycontin, Xanax bars, Percocets and Loratabs. Values, morphine patches, ecstasy, and it's all up a grab. What you want, what you need, hit me up, I got you, man. What you want?
Oxycontin, Percocet, Loratab, Vicodin. These are some of the most commonly prescribed painkillers in America today. What do these prescription drugs all have in common? They are opiates, meaning they are substances derived from the opium plant. What is another common opiate? Heroin. That's right. One of the deadliest, most addictive illicit drugs shares the same primary active ingredient as the painkillers that are prescribed by doctors to millions of Americans every day. When we think of heroin, many awful images often pop into our minds. The term junkie is often used to label these people who are hopelessly caught in the claws of a heroin addiction. But these same images do not come to mind when we think of prescription opiates, like Oxycontin, even though it is essentially the same thing as heroin. There is a major gap in public knowledge about the real dangers of prescription opiates, and this gap has led to some serious and devastating consequences. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, prescription opiates are now the most commonly abused drug in the country, second only to marijuana. 12 million Americans reported using prescription painkillers for non-medical purposes last year alone, and just under 15,000 Americans died from overdosing on painkillers, which is more than the number of fatal overdoses for heroin and cocaine combined. Clearly, the misuse and abuse of prescription opiates has become a major problem in the United States, and the problem is continuing to increase exponentially. Why is this happening? First of all, doctors are prescribing painkillers more than ever before. In the last decade, the amount of painkillers that doctors are prescribing has increased fourfold. By 2010, the number of pain medications prescribed was enough to keep every single American medicated for 1 month's time. Another key contributing factor to this emerging drug epidemic is the public's overall lack of knowledge about the seriousness of this problem. Many people are under the false assumption that these drugs are safe because they are regulated by the government and prescribed by doctors. Unfortunately, this couldn't be further from the truth. So what can be done to address this problem? Awareness is key. If more people knew that painkillers are essentially a legal form of heroin, they would be less likely to take them, get addicted to them, and overdose on them. Early intervention is also critical to combating this problem. Maintaining an addiction to prescription opiates gets very costly, so many people switch to heroin, which produces the same euphoric effects but is much cheaper and often more easily accessible. Unfortunately, heroin has the highest rate of relapse among people seeking treatment. So by the time people make the switch from prescription painkillers to heroin, it is often too late to achieve lasting sobriety. Treatment outcomes are much higher for people who use painkillers alone and have never tried heroin. So it is essential for people to get help as soon as possible before their addiction gets out of hand. In order to fix the deadly problem that is currently plaguing the nation and worsening every year, we must know about it. Prescription opiates lead to deadly outcomes. So tell your friends, tell your family, know the signs, and know how to get help. Only by spreading the word can we hope to stop this drug epidemic in its tracks. Thank you.